With Final Fantasy's release finally over, we're beginning the spoiler season for Edge of Eternity. A few cards were revealed at MagicCon, so we will be going over the few spoilers we have. Now the first card we'll be going over is Surema. It costs 1 and 2 white and is a legendary artifact spacecraft. Yeah, you heard that right. This is the first spacecraft to be shown for the new set and is also a tutor card. So the Surema has the station ability, which reads, tap another creature you control. Put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7+. So once the Surema has these 7 counters or more, it gains flying, and other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Aside from the regular printing, of course, we also have a borderless version of this card. Next up, we have Sothera the Super Void. It costs 2 and 2 black, is a legendary enchantment, and reads, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. And at the beginning of your end step, if a creature controls no creatures, sacrifice Sothera, then put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters. It seems like this card wants to pull an effect of like a black hole where it just sucks in all these creatures and then you're able to play one. It's very nice board removal with a payoff when it sacrifices itself. And it has 2 borderless versions, which is a little weird because it has a white border version and a black border version. And it also has a very cool foil treatment. Next up, we have Harmonious Growth Strider. It's a beast. It costs 3 and 2 green. Has Ward 2, and this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So this is great for like landfall decks. I see the Ward 2 ability, especially for 5 mana. It seems very, very good, resistant to removal. Pair this with Garruk's Uprising, you'll have a pretty big creature that can swing with Trample. Now, for more landfall, we have Tanuk, Memorial and Sign. He costs 1 colorless, 1 red, and 1 green. He's a 2/4 legendary creature Kavu pilot, and he has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Tanuk deals 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card. So this is great for landfall decks. It not only pings opponents, but it also allows you to draw cards. Also for a 3 cost, this is a pretty good drop. And I think it will definitely be an add to grow landfall decks. Next up, we have Sammy, Ship's Engineer. He costs 2 colorless, 1 red, and 1 white. He's a legendary creature, Human Artificer, and is a 2/4. And has the ability at the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. So this is great for sort of Boros Agros decks if you're attacking, because it'll leave up a blocker. I also see it maybe in some artifact decks, especially artifact creatures. So for example, in my Urtet deck, a lot of my mirrors tap for mana, so having those 2 tap mirrors at the end of my turn and having a robot come in and artifact at that point, which, I mean, in that deck, artifacts do matter, it would be a great add. They also revealed the 2 face commanders of this set's precons. The first one is Sazarel, Genesis Shepherd. He costs 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 red, and 1 green. He's a legendary creature insect druid and is a 2/5. He also has flying and 2 other abilities, which are, you may play lands from your graveyard, and whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Sazarel's power on up to 1 other target creature. Now, from this card being revealed, I see the potential for a sort of a land and creature aristocrat deck. Buffing your other creatures and being able to play lands from your graveyard is also a very nice touch. So I see cards like Zoran Orb, Arcane Spyglass, and maybe even Entis Restoration for a little bit of ramp. And yeah, I think being able to play lands from your graveyard sounds like a good mix into the precons that we have. The next one I'm excited for is Kilo, Apogee Mine. He costs 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 white, and is a legendary artifact creature robot artificer. He's a 3/3 with haste, and whenever Kilo becomes tapped, you proliferate. I think with the colors, this might be good for you Toxic players out there, and if you play Toxic, I am going to judge you very deeply. And also for being able to proliferate counter decks. So for my example, once again, my Urtet deck, he puts 3 +1/+1 counters on all mirrors, and being able to proliferate those counters on those mirrors is going to pump them up even bigger and be able to have a wider board that swings for a lot. I'm excited to see more of what the precons have in store, and seeing what cards are actually in them. So if you guys want me to go over them, please leave a like and comment. And finally, we have a look at the first Planeswalker of the set, which is Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. He costs a 3 colorless, and he has a static ability, which is whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. So once again, it's looking good for my Urtet deck. Now for 0, you can untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. For -3, you can search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And for -7, you get an emblem. With, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. And he starts off with 4 loyalty. So yeah, this is the first Planeswalker to be revealed. Once again, looking at this love for artifacts in this set, I see it a great addition to my Urtet deck. Being able to untap artifact creatures, especially those who are mana dorks, especially with that 0 cost to do it, sounds like a great ability. Being able to search for an artifact card, given it is only 1 mana value, would also be great, especially in my Urtet deck. A lot of the mana dorks are 1 mana. And the -7 ability can get out of hand if you're already making so many artifacts, because you can have multiple of the emblems, and a buff to your artifact creatures this way would be devastating for the board. And of course, Wizards wants to give Standard some love, and we have the return of Shocklands to Standard. Now, there are 5 of the 10 Shocklands being reprinted, and as a newer player to Standard, I started like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. This is exciting to see because these lands will become a staple to dual colored decks, and hopefully will become more readily available to all other formats, hopefully driving down the price and being more accessible to players. So yeah, these are all the cards that have been revealed.
Like, I missed 2 cards. The first being Mutavault, which I believe is a reprint on the art bonus sheet for the set. The second being Alpha Rail, Dreaming Acolyte, which costs 1 colorless, 1 blue, and 1 black, and is a legendary creature human cleric. And when he enters, you draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. And during your turn, Alpha Rail has Death Touch. And he's a 2/3.
Let me know what you think about the spoilers, and I'll see you in the next one.